got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though, ambition, flow inside my DNA.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Sean Be Nice, back again with some more Heat Rock, and today I got a very interesting video for you guys to check out today, man. I actually have I've contacted a app developer who's allowed me a journalistic license for the most part, where I can record stuff like now and use their data with no problem. And that's called ProGameBench.net, or pro.gamebench.net. And what they are a developer. They're an app company and they can allow you to record the FPS of actual mobile games. Now, I'm very excited because now we can see for sure which games perform better between, let's say, an iOS device and an Android device. So the two devices I'm testing out today will be the Note 8 and the iPhone 10. And I'll be doing a lot more research on these phones just to see if, especially the Note 8, to see if those gaming modes that they have, as far as the frames per, as far as like the display resolution, high performance mode, we're gonna see if all that makes a difference in future videos. But today we're just gonna focus on which device is better at handling certain games. So in the three games that we're gonna be testing are Hit, Marvel Future Fight, and War Robots. And these three games are pretty huge, pretty big, and we're gonna test them all if they allow me to change the settings. I know Hit does at their highest capability as far as like game speed and graphics wise, as far as how intense it can get. And we're gonna see which one performs better. Now, I've tested a few games already, so let's go to iPhone 10. But I will test them on camera so you guys can see, just kind of see performance for yourself, right? So as far as the iPhone 10, if we look at the one I actually did for a few minutes here, the target rate for that was, make sure I can zoom in so you guys can see it, 49 frames per second. It had an FPS of 89.29%, right? CPU usage is around 1.5. GPU is around 73%. Well, 74 if you want to round up. Now, let's take a look at that same game on the Galaxy Note 8. Now, the thing is, with the iPhone 10, the iPhone 10 actually has to be tethered to the laptop, so you won't see battery consumption statistics there, versus here, the app allows me to use it wirelessly. So, other than that, it was the same thing. Frames per second here on Hit was around 50 frames per second. Stability is around 89%. So as you guys see in that game and that test alone, if the Note 8 performed better. CPU use is around 12.3%. GPU use is around 48%. So that goes to show that Adreno, quote unquote, dedicated. Well, I think that's because the iPhone 10 actually has a dedicated card to handle games. I believe the Note 8 does too, but as you guys can see, it also takes up a lot of your CPU usage as well, versus on the iPhone 10, is mainly using the GPU usage. So, but what I have noticed, when I game more on the Note 8, I don't burn as much battery. So I'm guessing because of the way they share power versus the iPhone 10, where you can see 73% of that power is going to the GPU. That's probably why you see the games burn faster on an iPhone. Okay, so that's just one test. So let's go ahead and get it started. The first game we're gonna test is, first of all, just kind of let you know the settings. The settings I'm running for a typical game, because most games aren't really, I guess you could say, formatted to work on 2K displays. So I will be turning on performance mode, game mode, and on my game mode, it is at Full HD plus. Again, just to make things fair, I'm putting a Note 8 at 2220 by 1080 just due to the fact that the 2K displays, like, I feel like kind of put them neck and neck. Even on the iPhone is a 2436 by 1125 pixel per inch resolution. I still feel like, to make them even fair, this is the most comparable, right? So again, make sure that we clear everything out in the background. And to actually get this app to work on Android device is very simple. What you want to do is just go to the app itself, which is GameBench. Okay, so as you guys can see, the apps are here. I'm switching it down to 1080p, 30 frames per second, only due to the fact that 60 frames per second recording on the Samsung device is complete crap, and it just loses focus too much. I want to make sure you guys see what I'm trying to present you, so you guys see the difference is pretty much night and day. Okay, so that's why. All right, so first game we're gonna test out is Future Fight. Make sure all the apps are closed in the background. Again, this is running on the 1080p plus mode on the Note 8. So let's start it off. Here we go. Now, what's dope about it is you guys can see it actually has a frames per second counter right here in the right hand corner. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. And it actually has a stop button, when you want to stop. So again, we're gonna check the settings, make sure everything is what I say it is, and we're gonna run the same test on the iPhone 10. Now, I'm gonna try to record as much as I can so you guys can kind of see like dips and frames drops and stuff like that. But most part, I will be doing cutscenes so the video won't be too long. Okay, here we're gonna go to the settings, and as you guys can see, everything is on high, graphics is high, performance is high, sound effects, blah, blah, blah. Now, to keep things fair, I will be playing the same maps. The only difference would be the characters, only due to the fact that I'm an Android user, so most of my characters are stronger, obviously, on my Android device. And let's go back to chapter 1. And we're gonna do stage 7. We're gonna do just two fights, stage 7 and stage 8 of chapter 1, and we're gonna get it started. Make sure brightness is maxed out. Okay, a dip already into the reds. That's not good. 31 frames, 34 frames. But usually it does that in the initial part. I noticed on every Android device that, like in the first part, it's gonna dip just a little bit. Let's see how it does the rest of the way. Let's do some special attack. Dipping again, low 30 sometimes. Okay, so in that part, it was pretty consistent. Dropped again. Okay, well, he's done. Okay, so the ideal is trying to just at least play like 5 minutes. You know, they got a timer right there. At least try to play 5 minutes so the phone can heat over just a little bit. Normally in the future, again, it's just a test between these two devices here. But in the future, I will be testing for like 15 minutes. That way we can let the phone get hot and see if it actually throttles any. We actually may see some of that now. But the bare minimum, at least I'm gonna do 5 minutes. Okay. Slight dip there, up, dip to the red again. So as you can see, it's almost a little bit consistent between what kind of moves you're doing to dropping that 30 frames per second mode. So just FYI, keep that, you know, just notice that. Again, drop. Let's switch characters. Me and Spider-Man the whole time. And call out one of the best Marvel characters in the game, Black Panther now. See, I beat the brakes off dude pretty fast. Okay. So again, that's pretty fast. That's only 4 minutes. We're gonna do one more just so he can hit that 5 minute mark. And then we go from there. Okay, we're at that 5 minute mark. Let's go ahead and get him out the way. And it's over. Okay, drop down to the low 30s again on that. So, all right, we can stop the frames per second test right there. We can end that where it's at. Then we'll compare, but just kind of give you guys a look at it now. It used 7% of the CPU, 523 megabytes of the RAM, and 25% of the GPU. And it stayed at 55 frames per second. And then as far as percentage of frame stability or whatever, it's around 66%. So that's not too good. Just to be honest with you, you know what I mean? It wasn't, to me, it's not that stable. Battery drain. Just kind of give you guys just what we're looking at here. So I went from 70. He's taking like big hits. You see that? It's kind of crazy. All right. So that's that. I mean, and that big hit may only be like a percentage too, because we started the game playing at 79%. I mean, 70%. It was only at 68, so not bad. Okay. So now we're gonna do the same test on the iPhone 10 since I get the face feature to work. All right. Again, make sure there's nothing else running in the background. You guys can see that. So we gotta plug it up. All right. Once we're plugged up, it's gonna go through this little prompt here. It says Shine's iPhone, and now again we're gonna do future fight. We're not gonna hit the record button just yet. We're gonna actually hit the record button action when we start playing. Actually, to make it fair, I'm gonna hit it now though, so I can record just how the Note 8 was. Now I'm trying to keep it here, but it may be blurring in the background. But you guys can see the frames per second coming in and whatnot, and go from there. Again, make sure the settings are the same. Settings high, graphics high, performance high, blah, blah, blah. Got that. And like, even right now, like, as far as display is concerned, right, the colors just pop more on the Note 8. Like, not saying the colors are bad on here, but it just seems a little bit dull. So we got, Spider-Man, Johnny Storm, and War Machine. Again, they are my lower level characters, but you still guys gonna be able to get the idea. Again, you can watch the frames per second in the background. If you can see, I know it's a little blurry. You see, it hasn't hit that dip like Android did. Again, it's still at 59 frames per second. Still hasn't dropped. Still no drop. Very consistent. This is crazy. Still no drops here either. Well, I'm sorry. That's just the medium frame. We're looking at drops here. I'll show you that on the screen in a second. I just remember that since it's tethered, it's not really showing me that the way I want to see it. I've already talked to the app developer to see if they can get it where they can put the frames per second counter act in the right hand corner. Okay, we're gonna keep going though. I don't want to kind of mess with the flow because the time is still going. I want to make sure we get to 5 minutes like we got a Note 8, so we can actually do a real and thorough analysis. With pretty much 2 minutes and 15 seconds, it should put us at that 5 minute mark. I also will be testing the performance between GTA in the future as far as which one performs that game, better too. So again, this will be a regular thing, man. I feel like we can start putting like a lot of competition to rest with this whole, well, which one performs better. And you may see that, one phone might perform better with one game than, versus the other. So, we'll definitely be able to see that. You got the brakes beat off you, cuz. All right, you see the dip. So like that little cutscene, there's gonna be a dip, as we can see. Let me get somebody else out. I'll be forgetting that I'm playing with multiple characters. Okay, so again, that's at 3 minutes, 34 seconds. We will have to do another one, looks like. So we hit that 5-minute mark. Phone, you know, it's not too hot just yet. Again, but I can't test the battery info because with the phone being plugged up, you're not gonna be able to get an accurate reading on as far as the frames per second. I mean, as far as power consumption is concerned. So we do one more and we conclude that test. Now, as you guys can see, we just did tests between the Note 8 and the iPhone 10. Now, the other two tests, I'm not gonna have you guys watch that gameplay. More so just me running for about 5 minutes, play it, go from there. So let's actually go look at it. Okay, so as you guys can see here, the Note 8 had as you guys see, Note 8, you know, Adreno 540. Note 8 had a medium frames per second around 55 frames per second with an FPS of 66%. Battery consumption around 557 milliamp hours. That's not 4 hours, 32 minutes. I'm guessing they just kind of like doing some other stats. Peak memory usage is at 611 megabytes and average RAM usage around 524. CPU usage, again, is kind of like around 8%. GPU usage around 25%. Now let's look at the iPhone 10. iPhone 10, FPS stability around 90% with a frame rate of 59 frames per second. GPU usage around 40%, CPU usage around 1%, RAM usage only 369 megabytes per second versus a peak, which is 411. Now, again, that's the difference, okay? That is a noticeable difference. We even seen in gameplay. Now, don't get me wrong, the iPhone definitely had some frame drops. So let's go look at that. They definitely had frame drops, right? So as we can see here around the 3 minute and 57 mark, I mean, there were definitely frame drops. No one's saying that, but as far as overall performance, it kind of mopped the floor pretty much with the Note 8. As you guys can see, there are frame drops, but overall performance is, you know, I want to say it's not even close. I mean, frames per second stability at 90% versus 60%, 66%, and GPU usage, CPU usage, and RAM usage. So again, the Note 8 has 6 gigabytes of RAM versus I think the 3 that this comes with. So again, that comes from better optimization. Okay, so as far as gaming right now, the iPhone 10 is definitely beating the Note 8 as far as gaming performance. So the next two games we're gonna do is Hit and War Robot. Okay, here we are with Hit. I'm gonna make sure that the game settings are everything like legit. Again, in the future, man, I will be testing these games a little bit more thoroughly. Like I test the different modes, the different game modes, different game speeds to see if all that stuff make a difference. Now, graphics settings is at 5, play speeds at 4, so I'm pretty sure it's like around 50 to 60 frames per second. And I try to max it out. They said this device does not support high quality graphics, which we know it's a lie. I'm pretty sure they're talking about bulk and API games, but it should work. We're gonna do 18-1 and maybe 18-2, depending on how fast we run it. Now, the good thing about this is the Hit servers are like universal. The same character I got on here is gonna be the same character I got on the iPhone. Hasn't dropped not one time yet. This is good. Now, up here, let's go introduce some combos. 1 drop in the frames, that's about it. Again, 1 drop, not bad. That is very, very, very good. Let's see, am I missing a character to beat? Let's go back. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can get the game to drop less than 50, which I don't think we are. Okay, 46 on destroying some boxes. That's odd, but you know, okay. Brought down to 39, but again, that's pretty common from what we seeing for Future Fight. That matches up. Usually when they introduce a new boss like that, it's gonna be like a little frame drop. But as far as these combos are concerned, it's holding up well. It's staying at 50. That's perfect. So as you guys can see, this game versus Future Fight is definitely optimized for Android. This test is also good to let you know which games are optimized for Android or not. And this is definitely optimized for Android. So we're gonna play one more boss and go from there. Okay, so that test is done. We did 5 minutes. It's coming down now, and as you guys can see, it was stuck at pretty much for the most part consistently at 50 frames per second. Just kind of take a look at it now. GPU used around 52%. So I think what it is that Future Fight doesn't tap into the Android GPU as much as the iPhone 10, and that makes a difference. So the GPU took a lot more to force, which is 52% versus the CPU, which is 12%. The RAM used to 642 megabytes, and as you guys can see, FPS stability is at 90%. Now that's how every game should run on the Android device. Okay, now we're gonna do that same test on the iPhone 10. Now, as far as even look right now, as you guys can see, Hit is not fully optimized for the iPhone 10. So it looks way better on the Note 8 as far as, you know, how it looks and whatnot. Let's go ahead and sign this in. Okay, so the time is like a little bit off, only due to the fact that it was taking too long for Hit to recognize I was logged out on my Note 8. But nonetheless, we are here. And again, it is graphics at 5, play speed is at 4. Can't max it out. We know that. So same settings though. Let's go to battle. Now overall, I mean, you guys probably can't see it from behind the camera, but to me right now, the Note 8 definitely looks better than the iPhone 10. As far as display quality, overall gaming, all of that. So I'm not saying the iPhone 10 looks bad or nothing like that. It's just, you know, it looks better on the Note 8. Right now, we at 49 frames per second on the iPhone 10, just so you guys can see that. Couple of dips, nothing major though. And the iPhone 10 is definitely, I'm starting to feel like it warm versus the Note 8. Just find that interesting again because I'm pretty sure the iPhone 10 is using more GPU. So that's why you feel it getting, you know, heated up a little bit more. All right, let's start doing some combos. So I'm looking at the screen as well. It's a couple of drops. Nothing too big though. Okay, so that was the first map. Let's go ahead and do the second one. Okay, so that test is done. It's like a minute off on the iPhone 10. Like I said, that was due to some logging issues, so I stopped recording it. But that's more than enough. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Okay, so can I show this again? Confirm. Let's go back to the joint there. Reload. Okay, so let's take the Note 8 again. Again, Note 8 was around, let me zoom in for you guys. Note 8 was around 90% frame per FPS stability, target frames, or what we seen was 50 frames per second. RAM usage around 742, GPU usage was 52%, around CPU usage 13%. So overall, the game ran perfectly fine, 90% FPS. Let's check out the iPhone 10. iPhone 10 was actually at a 92%, but the frames per second was at 49. GPU usage at 75%. Peak RAM usage at 414. So again, the iPhone 10 came out on top. I mean, the frames per second was only frames per second different, but the FPS is at 92%. I don't think you can, I don't think you can beat that. So that's still not bad though. But again, minor drops as you guys can see towards the bottom here. Let me see if I can zoom in for you guys. So towards the bottom, as you guys can see, frame drop, not like huge. A couple of those, but more like that's because we was fighting the boss. But other than that, it's pretty consistent. Let's take a look at the Note 8. Again, we can spread that out. More dips, but again, for the most part, pretty stable. So I'm not mad at either one. I mean, it's technically number-wise the iPhone 10, but you won't. I feel like with the display and the way the game looks and how it performs, I feel like the Note 8, you still can't go wrong as far as the gaming would hit. But if we actually doing numbers, iPhone 10 won that again. So last game is gonna be War of Robots. So again, let's make sure everything's cleared out. Everything's cleared out. And go to Game Bench and start out. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no faith in how War of Robots is gonna perform on the Note 8. I don't think it's gonna perform well. I played this game and it's too demanding. Okay, just being completely honest with y'all. But nonetheless, we're gonna get into it. Okay. Okay, just FYI, it took around a minute just for War Robots to load up. I don't know if because of the Game Bench application running on top of it. It could be that. So, take that with a grain of salt. But we're going to start, search some players, see how it goes. Now, this game, I will show you more gameplay of because I want to show you guys that frame per second counter. And it's, yeah. I didn't see any options as far as like performance-wise, so I'm pretty sure just throw you straight in. But right now, it's holding at 30. Right now, anyway. Hasn't dropped yet. Well, 29.31. Surprisingly, it's doing well. This is a robot for some odd reason. I forgot to equip the rockets. I don't know where my rockets are at. Oh, there they go. I was gonna say, like, where my rockets at? Again, not too bad. I gotta reload though. I'm about to die. Wow, this game is doing really well. Like, normally when I play this game, it's dropping like crazy. Okay, a little drop right there with the explosion. Let's see if we can get some more. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. We putting in work on him right now. He out of there. Okay. We probably just do about, until we die. From the looks of it, we about to die soon. Our buddy out of there. Again, keeping up at 30 frames per second. One is doing a fantastic job. Okay, I'm out of there. Might as well finish that last robot off. This guy could jump, isn't that cool? No frame drop there, which is also always a good thing. I know it's taking so long for my team to kill this one robot. All right, there he goes. Okay, so we did about 3 minutes on that. Didn't take long at all. We can stop that. Frame per second from what we saw was 30 frames per second, which made sense. We didn't get enough for stability, unfortunately. Oh, we did 88%. So that's not bad. War Robots is usually a little bit more demanding than that. So I'm not mad at those results at all. Now, let's go do the iPhone 10. Make sure nothing's running in the background. Get rid of that. War Robot. And let's start up the timer. See how long it takes on the iPhone 10 to load up. Okay, so this is just a demanding game, and this takes forever on both platforms, what I'm seeing. Okay. Okay, so just FYI, man, it took like 1:30 just to get the game started on the iPhone 10. I don't know. That may just be like a War Robot issue. Granted, it only took like a minute to get started in a Note 8. Still, that's still too long either way, man. Nobody really gets a nod for that. All right. So far, we like 2 minutes in, because I'm definitely counting that load in time. That was too long. No dips though. The iPhone 10 is kind of like around, as you guys just see, 29, 30 frames per second. Pretty much what the Note 8 was, so not a huge difference there. So it looks like I'm about to down this game on an iPhone. Again, it just looks better on the Note 8 as far as like resolution wise and all that. It just looks better. Even when we drop the resolution down, you gotta remember, I'm not even playing at 2K on Note 8. It just still looks good at 1080p just because of the colors and whatnot. And one more robot left. There you go. Okay. All right, and we are done. Put it just at that 4-minute mark. So let's go look at this last game and see how it did. Just right now, as you guys can see, frames per second, it was pretty much consistent at 29 frames. Not a lot of drops. You guys can see that for yourself. Not a lot of drops at all. Okay. Let's go to the actual dashboard. So let's look at the Note 8 again. FPS is around 30 frames per second, 88%. GPU usage around 50% again. Same, so that optimization plays out again with HIT. That was kind of like these are two of the same numbers we've pretty much seen from HIT. RAM usage around 561 megabytes peak and 474 megabytes on average. Now let's look at, man, FPS on the iPhone 10 is at 95% with a frame rate of 29 frames. So what I'm saying for the iPhone 10, they would like maybe drop it by 1 frame if they can get the stability. So their thing is stability over graphics, and maybe the Note 8 is like the reverse. But GPU users took a brunt of that. GPU usage at 64%, while the CPU users at 90, only like not even a 1 point percent. So peak usage around 362. Average memory usage around 285 megabytes. So again, it seems like the apps are just optimized better, and we've noticed that from any other game that we played. So as far as which phone performs better between these two, and they won each test considerably, iPhone 10. So again, as far as games concerned, the iPhone 10 is a better gaming device than a Note 8. If you don't really care too much about the FPS stability and whatnot, you just want to know how it looks better on the Note 8, but performs better on the iPhone 10. So other than that, man, let me know what y'all think in the comment section below, man. Was there something else y'all want me to do differently with the test? Again, in the future, I will be testing all the different display modes on the Note 8 and to see if actually the game modes makes a difference or not. We're gonna test out more games in the future. Other than that, man, thanks so much for Game-Bench to providing me this useful tool to test games. Now I will be working with them a lot more as far as trying to get this app better and see, other kind of help out other developers see how they can improve their games on an Android device. I feel like a lot of developers cater to the iOS device. There's only one platform they gotta be concerned about, versus Android. It's a plethora of different options that you have. So you can't just, it's pretty much specify a game and optimize it specific for the Note 8 when you got the Pixel, the HTC device, the LG device. So it's just much more to do. So again, iPhone 10 is a winner, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's your boy Sean B. Nice, and I'm out, man. Deuces.